Welcome to the 60-minute yoga flow class. We're going to be doing some gentle heart opening today, in addition to doing some chest stretching, kind of opening up the shoulders, opening up the chest. Definitely modify what you need to, step up what you need to. Most importantly, let this practice feel good to your body. Have some water nearby. So if you need a drink, you can stop and get one. And maybe you like listening to music while you do yoga, then go ahead and put on your favorite playlist so you can have some music going on in the background. All right, let me get the camera set up here. We're going to go ahead and get started today lying on our backs. So go ahead and lay down. I'm using a Tada rug. It's a oversized yoga mat. And if you ever choose to get a Tada rug, you can get 10% off using the code Phoebe. Anything works, like a towel, a blanket, a regular sized yoga mat are all great. So find your way onto your back, lie in a comfortable shape. Just breathe a few times with awareness. Breathing is something we can do most instances without thinking. This time, I want you to really think about how you breathe and invite it to expand. Allow your exhales to get a little bit longer. Your inhales to get a little bit deeper. And as if you're laying on a bar of chocolate and that chocolate is slightly melting, feel yourself sinking downward, softening your muscles, softening your face. All together now, take a giant breath in through your nose. Hold it. Mouth open, long exhale. One more like that. Breathe in, filling up your back just as much as your chest. Holding at the top. Maybe take in one more sniff and let it go. Gently roll to a side, either side, and press up to a seated position. Hands can fall into your lap, legs can cross, or outstretch them if that's more comfortable. And take a few shoulder rolls, rolling forward to back, feeling how much you can move the shoulder blades while keeping the rest of the body relatively still. It's okay if the hands and arms move following those shoulder blades. Nice. Keep that motion going, but transfer your fingers to the top of your shoulders. And now you're going to be making those shoulders circle, but the elbows are going to follow, making giant circles out to the sides. And see if you can make those elbows take the biggest circle possible. Now straighten the arms and let it become a full arm circle. Let's synchronize your breath. We'll inhale as we reach up, exhale as we take it back. So you might go a little bit slower, or you might start to invigorate your breath a little bit faster. Nice. Now switch direction with the arms, inhaling and exhaling as we take these big circles, trying to find the range, the biggest range that your fingers can reach. Nice. Drop those fingertips back to the shoulders and continue those circles in the other direction. So going from back to front now. Good. Release the hands back into the lap and keep those shoulder circles going from back to front. Should feel like your shoulders are getting a little bit of work, a little bit of strengthening in addition to some mobility, but they might be feeling a little tired. That's okay. Take one more circle, then drop your right hand down, reach your left arm up and over, find a big side bend, pressing your left hip down to the ground. Keep your torso like this and take a few circles with the right arm. As the arm reaches up, see if they can twist your heart a little bit more to the sky, and you'll keep it twisted open as the arm circles back down. Nice. Next time the arm reaches up, let it bring you back to center and over to the other side. Bending now towards the left, and that right arm is going to make some big circles. Each time that arm reaches up, allow it to twist the heart open, keeping that bottom shoulder rotating into external rotation. So think the triceps trying to go forward, the bicep is trying to roll backwards. Next time the arm reaches up, sit back up to center, hands fall into your lap. Take some seated cats and cows. Inhale, lifting heart, and exhale, rounding, dropping the chin, tucking the tailbone. Synchronize your breath. As you round, the lower back broadens. As you inhale, feel the upper back expand. Good. Stay in cat pose, back rounded, and move your torso towards the left. Move forward into cow pose. Take your torso to the right, and then back into cat pose. Good. Do that again, to the side, to the front, to the side, really rounding back. One more. And reverse direction, staying in cat. Now we'll move to the right, forward into cow, to the left, and back into cat. Good. Keep going. We've got two more. Good. Holding in cat. Inhale to cow. And then return back to center. Move your legs out of the way. We'll come into a tabletop position. Keep your back straight, your back flat, and begin shoulder circles. So just like we did when you were seated, rolling those shoulder blades around. Without moving your arms, think of the hands drilling into the ground, almost like you're trying to unscrew the top of a jar lid. Reverse direction with those shoulder circles. How much can you move them? Keep the back of your neck long. Keep the knees and the tops of your feet pushing into the ground. Even your pinky toenail pushes downward. Good. Return back to center, tabletop. Push through the palms. Round just the upper back. Feel your shoulder blades move apart. And then drop the chest and pinch your shoulder blades together. A couple more like that. Push shoulder blades apart. Drop shoulder blades together. Keep going. So this is different than cat and cow. We're not looking to move the spine. We're just looking to move those bony shoulder blades back and forth. And this is a little bit of a push-up for those muscles that can move the shoulder blade. Keep those hands screwing down into the ground, fingers spread wide. Good. Return back to neutral table. Find puppy pose. Walk your chest forward. Drop your chest towards the ground, and either your forehead or your chin will rest onto the floor. Push your palms and forearms into the ground. Think your triceps move inward towards one another, and your biceps try to move away from each other. Press the knees down, the feet down, really lift the hips. Couple more breaths. One more. Look forward, slide onto your belly and onto your forearms. Stretch your legs back behind you. Press the tailbone down, press the pubic bone down. Lower your torso towards the floor. You can make a pillow out of your hands. Before we do anything else, I want you to feel your pubic bone and the two front hip bones of your pelvis and see if those 3 points can have equal weight on the mat. So sometimes we like to kind of tip our tailbone up towards the sky, so all the weight's on those front hip points. And if we really tuck under, then we're going to feel all that weight on our pubic bone. And find a balance where the 3 points can have kind of an equal sharing of weight. Once you've found that, stretch your arms in front of you, pinkies on the ground, palms face inward. Look forward, breathe in, lift the chest, slide your arms towards you, karate chop your pinky fingers into the ground. Notice if you've lost that balance of pubic bone and front hip points having that equal pressure. See if you can find that again here. Really roll the biceps away from each other, the triceps towards each other. Lift the back of your head. Lower down. You're welcome to repeat that, or this time stretch your arms behind you, palms face to the floor. Inhale, lift your head, lift your chest. Keep your palms on the ground. Keep your legs on the ground as you lift your heart. Nice. Keep pushing the tops of the feet towards the floor. Pinky toenails too. Equal weight between pubic bone and hip points. Stay here or float your arms up. Maybe this lifts your chest a little bit higher. Take one more breath in. And out. Lower down. You're welcome to repeat that. Or this time, stretch your arms back and interlace them at your lower back. Interlacing fingers down to the webbing. Nice. And inhale, look forward. Rise up, keep your legs on the ground as you lift your head and shoulders, and then lift your hands up and away from your hips. Stretch your chest forward, stretch your legs back. Find that equal weight between pubic bone and hip points. Take one more breath in. And exhale, lower down. Bring your arms out to your sides like goalposts. So the elbows are going to be bent, the palms are flat, and the elbows are pretty much horizontal in line with the shoulders. Turn your head to look to the left. Bring your right cheek to the mat. Bring your left hand in front of your chest, and then roll up and over to the right side of your body. Keep your head down. The left leg can either bend in front of your chest, or you can kick it up and back behind you. We're looking for a stretching of the right pec, the right chest, feeling an opening in the front of your body. You can always adjust your right arm as needed to feel more of that stretch across your chest. Roll back to center, forehead to the ground, both arms back to that goalpost-like shape or cactus arm-like shape. We'll turn to look towards the right, left ear to the ground, right hand in front of your chest, and then roll over to the left side. Again, knee can be in front of you, or you can kick it up and back behind you. Head heavy on the ground. Notice if there's any difference between both shoulders. Keep shoulders away from ears. And roll back over onto your belly. Press back child's pose. Knees go wide, big toes go together. Forehead comes to the ground. Like before, bring your pinkies to the floor. Palms point towards one another. Arms are going to be straight. And really feel that rolling in of the triceps and the rolling out of the biceps. And you could stay here working on this, or I invite you to bend at the elbows, maybe even bring your palms to touch behind your head. Keep pushing your elbows into the floor and think of them pushing away from you. Shoulders draw away from ears, so the elbows and the shoulders move in opposite directions. Take a big breath into your lower back and out. Release your arms, rise back up to table. We were here before, and just take one cat-cow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Stay in cat. Flex your feet. Downward dog. Lift your hips up and back. Stay in stillness and down dog to start. So resist the urge to pedal your feet or to move the body, and instead really focus on what is touching the floor, your hands and some of your foot. Broaden everything that is touching the ground. Push it down into the floor. Then everything else is going to lift up and away from the floor, like someone's picking you up from your hips and trying to pull you off the ground, but your feet and hands are super glued to it. Even here, move those biceps away from your ears and those triceps towards your face. It is okay to have your knees bent here. We're looking for a long, straight spine. So if that means bending your knees to get your spine and your back flat, then please do. That's more important, is to have the spine straight than the legs straight. All right, now we'll move. Go ahead and pedal out the feet, right, left. Can roll through the ankles a little bit. If it feels nice, you can even rise to tiptoes, drop the heels over to the right, kind of twisting open through the hips. Really press strong through your palms. Take that on the other side if you took it on the first. Returning back to your down dog. Rise up onto both toe tips, heels up, breathe in. Exhale, drop the heels low. Walk your feet to the front of your mat. Separate your feet hip distance and clasp opposite elbows. It can feel nice here to swing your torso side to side. It can also feel nice to rock forward and back from the balls of your feet to the heels. Whichever you're choosing, keep your head heavy, your neck soft. And same idea that the parts of your body that are touching the floor, push them down into the floor. And then imagine the rest of your body is trying to be lifted up and off from the hips. Nice. Release your hands to the ground. Option 2, grab the hips. That's option 1. Option 2, interlace hands at your lower back. Bring the awkward grip into play, so the opposite pinky on top, and then roll the shoulders back. Reach the knuckles up and over the crown of your head. Arms compressed towards straight. If they hyperextend, please put a micro bend in them. You'll actually get a lot more stretch with a slight bend. Nice. Make sure the head is still heavy. Equal weight between heels and balls of your feet. One more breath in and out. Release your hands down to the ground. Plant the left hand underneath your chest. Reach your right hand high to the sky. Now notice if the right hip starts to stick up, you can use your hand to help draw that right hip back and down. Stay there, or feel free to wrap the right hand across your lower back, maybe even grabbing onto your left thigh. If you want to get really crazy, you can reach that left arm through your legs and interlace your hands outside your left hip. Nice. Keep twisting, turning your heart towards the sky. Big breath in and out. Release both hands down into a forward fold. Inhale, lift your torso halfway. Right hand will stay underneath your chest. Left hand reaches up. Again, feel free to check that left hip is down and back. Heart and hips are reaching away from one another. Stay there, or wrap left hand across your back. Maybe grab onto the right thigh. Heart staying up. Option to take the right hand through the legs. You might need to bend your right knee more deeply as you interlace your hands outside the right hip. Chest is still going to stay lifted and twisting. Couple more breaths. Gently release back to your forward fold. Strengthen up your legs. Rise up, stand up, arms go to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, hands stretch up. Exhale, flat back to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend your knees, plant your palms, step back, top of a push-up pose. Feel free to drop your knees down to the ground. Feel those biceps rolling out, those triceps moving in. Spread the fingers wide. Drop your knees, your chest, and your chin down to the ground. Slide flat. Inhale up for baby cobra. So the hands are down here, but we're really weightless in them. You could pick your hands up at any point and you wouldn't fall down. So you might even test that. Just pick your hands up and you want to keep your chest in the same place. The hands are actually helping reach your heart forward. It's almost as if you're trying to slide your legs forward through your palms. Now roll your shoulders back, squeeze your elbows together, and find that equalness between your pubic bone and your front hip points. Exhale, lower the torso, press to table. Before you press up, we're going to work to lift your chest and your hips off the mat at the same time, okay? So first things first, make sure your pubic bone is on the ground. And your pubic bone and your chest bone, you're going to try to lift them off the ground at the same time. The knees are going to stay down. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, lift. Tabletop. Woohoo! Tuck toes under, downward dog. Big breath in and out. Right leg lifts up, bend your knee. Take some leg circles. Take some movements with the leg. Ooh, let's see what feels good. I don't care what it looks like. Just make sure it feels nurturing. Right foot will step between your hands. Back knee drops down. Inhale, lift to low lunge. You can keep your hands on your front knee or reach them to the sky. Exhale, hands draw through your heart. And inhale, sweep them up again. Exhale, hands through your heart. Strengthening your legs. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale to your heart. Last time. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale, hands through the heart. Maybe twist or stay put. If you're twisting, hook left elbow outside your right knee. Lift your torso away from your thigh. Press your front heel down. One more breath in. And exhale to twist deeper. Look down, plant your hands, press back standing. Seated splits or half splits. So you're going to shift back. Words are hard this morning, apparently. That right hip is going to go back. The right leg extends towards straight, especially through that inner ankle. Then bend deep into your front knee again. Frame your front foot. Flex your back foot. Lift your back knee. Toes soft. Rise to fingertips. Good. Heart reaching forward. Kick your back heel back to really lift your back knee. And we're just going to stay right here, working on strengthening. Use your hands as little as possible. They're down, but you're trying not to put all your weight in them. Just warming up the hip joint. Good. Drop the back knee down to the floor again. Plant your left hand. Right hand comes to your right knee and take some circles, some big circles with your right knee. And your hips are going to move forward and back to support your knee as you do this. And switch direction. It's okay if that inner edge of your foot really rolls up. So you're kind of rocking to the pinky toe edge of your foot back and forth. Nice. Stay in lunge. Bring the hands down inside the foot. Step forward to Yogi Squat. Take as many steps as you need to get there. And in this Yogi Squat, I want you to have your feet flat today. So you might need to make it a really high Yogi Squat, the hips up, and your feet nice and wide. Or you can take the feet a little closer together and take the hips lower, whatever allows you to keep your feet flat. Push your heels into the ground, lift your chest, drop your shoulders away from ears. Big breath in and out. Right hand plants down, kind of in front of the right toes. And left arm's going to reach up. Push your tricep into your inner thigh. You could stay right there or sweep your right hand outside your right shin, interlacing your hands together outside your right hip. Option, not a necessity. Just keep pushing your knees away from one another. Drop your tailbone a bit lower. Release back down. Yogi squat, hands in front of you or at your heart. And we'll switch sides. Left hand down, right arm goes high, a gentle twist in the upper chest. Stay there, or right hand goes behind your back, left hand goes in front of your left shin, and your hands interlace outside the left hip. Lift the heart high to the sky so the spine is getting longer. You're getting taller, even as your hips melt heavier. Good. Release your hands in front of you. Forward fold. Feet will stay slightly wide, but you'll bring your feet parallel. Let your head gently shake no, shake yes. Keep the legs wide. Inhale, arms go high to the sky. Big breath in. Exhale, they come to your heart. Inhale, arms stretch up. Legs still wide. Bring right hand to right hip. Side bend up and over towards your right. Strengthen your legs. Squeeze your butt. Squeeze your thighs. Squeeze your calves. Nice. Let that circle, that side bend, become a circle. So you're going to keep bending to the right and then forward fold. Switching arms, come up on the side bend on the other side. Left hand to left hip. Right arm reaches up and over. Legs strong. And keep reaching to the left. Let that fold you forward. And come back to the first side. Good. And then take it up and over. And we'll go back to the second side, bending towards the left. Return to standing. Arms go high. Exhale, flat back to fold. Legs still wide. Inhale, halfway. Bend knees. Step or hop to a plank pose. Fingers spread. Inner thighs squeezing together. Chest reaching forward. Nice. Option to lower to your belly for Cobra, or this time shift forward, lower halfway down. Flip to the tops of your feet and inhale up for an up dog. Even though your pelvis isn't on the ground, imagine that your pubic bone and hip bones would be pushing down equally. Exhale to down dog. Steady your breath. Now left leg lifts up, bend your left knee. Feel free to move it however feels good. Fast, slow, circles. Sometimes it feels nice to just make some noises. All right, step left foot between your thumbs. Back knee drops down. You can always take the time to get some padding underneath that back knee. And then rise up, low lunge, hands to front knee or wherever is comfortable for you. I like to keep my back foot flexed. That helps me keep my knee pointing straight down and engage my muscles a bit more. Inhale, the hands can reach high. If you're choosing to reach them up, we'll use our breath here. Exhale, bring them to your heart. Then inhale, they sweep up again. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, they sweep up. Exhale down. Last time, inhale. Exhale through your heart. Option to stay or to twist to your left, hooking right elbow outside your left knee. Soft toes, shoulders drop away from ears. Strong legs, open heart. Inhale, your spine lengthens. Exhale, it twists. Unwind. Bring your hands down to the ground and we'll shift back to those half splits. Shifting your hips above your back knee, pressing your front leg towards straight, especially that inner ankle, lengthen it. Can you reach your heart forward as well? Nice. Take one more breath. And then bend into your front knee. Come to your fingertips, and we're going to lift the back knee. The back heel is kicking away from you as the heart reaches forward. Now draw the shoulders towards the ears. Now do the opposite. Draw them down the back. Hold them there. It's as if you're trying to get your armpits squeezing down towards your hips. Lift your torso away from your thigh. You're trying to hover it just above. It's okay if they're touching, but you're not leaning into it. You're still holding the strength of your torso up with the strength of your core. Good. Take a couple more breaths. Really warming up that left hip. Press that left heel down into the ground. Drop the back knee. Plant the right hand. Bring the left hand up to your left knee. And we're going to take circles. Start in one direction, and it's okay if they're small. Maybe you make them big. Do what feels good. The hips have got to move forward and back, following the knee to make sure it's supported. Okay, switch direction. And by all means, feel free to lift up that inner arch of the foot, really rolling onto the pinky toe edge to get that hip warm. And keep the bend in your front knee. Bring both hands inside your left foot. Yogi Squat. Big step forward. Maybe it's 10 little steps. Maybe it's one step. Remember today's variation, we're keeping the feet flat, so go as high as you need to make that happen. Option, you can keep your hands on your legs, or this time interlace your hands at the back of your head. Make sure it's your head, not your neck. And round your torso forward, like you're connecting your forehead to your tailbone. Knees keep pushing outward. 3 more breaths. One more breath. Release your hands, fold forward. Feet are parallel and slightly wider. Inhale, halfway lift. Chest up. Exhale, fold. Heel toe your feet out a little bit more. So you're in a wide-legged forward fold. And inhale, lift your heart again. Exhale, fold deep. Press your heels down. Soften your head. Hands can be under shoulders. Elbows parallel to one another. Inhale, lift your torso all the way up. Heel toe your feet back to parallel, so right underneath your hips, and fold again. Now bend your knees, put your ribs on your thighs, and with your peace fingers, grab onto your big toes. So everyone can do this because everyone can put on their shoes. You just got to bend your knees deeply. Then latch on with those peace fingers. Inhale, lift your heart as much as is possible. Exhale, fold deep, bowing your chest over. Shoulders away from ears, elbows out to the sides. Your legs may or may not press towards straight. 2 more breaths, heart reaching towards your toes. Biggest breath yet. Release your hands. Inhale, lift your chest, flatten your back. Bend knees, keep the heart lifted as you plant palms. Step back, plank pose. Shift forward, lower all the way down to your belly. Stretch your legs back behind you. Stretch your arms back behind you. Big breath in and out. Separate feet hip distance. Inhale, lift up head, chest, arms. Good, you could stay here or this time float your legs up as well. Keep the pubic bone pressing down. Keep the heart reaching forward. Keep the inner thighs and inner ankles stretching back. Lengthen the back of your neck. Lift up one more breath. Exhale to lower. Hands by shoulders. We're going to press back into that table Or you could go to plank this time, but here's the thing. Make sure your pelvis and your chest lift off the ground at the same time. 3, 2, lift off. Good, downward dog. Pressing down at the base of your fingers, the heels of your hands getting lighter. Step your feet together. Lift your right leg high to the sky. Toes and knee point downward. Flex through your foot. Reach your left heel. That's the heel you're standing on. Reach it towards the ground a little bit more. Press strong through your palms. Look forward. Step right foot between thumbs. High lunge. Rise up. Back heel is going to stay lifted. Front knee bends deep. Hands will reach towards the sky or stay to your sides or on your hips for support. And just slow down your breath for a moment. There's no rush to get to the next pose. Just check in and see where you can soften and where you can strengthen. Nice. Bend your right elbow. Bring the right palm to your right shoulder area. And with your left hand, grab your elbow, your right elbow. So you're getting a bit of a tricep stretch. You could stay like this, or instead, bring your left hand behind your back and interlace your hands by your upper back, pointing one elbow up, one elbow down. And notice if you're really popping your ribs up. Mine tend to do that. Instead, see if you can keep the ribs pulled in, the spine straight. Good. We'll release the hands out to the sides. Windmill open warrior 2. So the back heel will just spin down. Your torso will turn to face the side. And there's a confident gaze over your front fingertips. Bend deeply into your front knee, lining it up above your ankle. Breathe in and out. Straighten your front leg. Reach both hands high to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Turn your back toes to point away from you. And bend your back knee, kind of like a lunge in the back leg, and you're keeping your front leg straight. You can stay there or you can drop even lower, keeping your left foot flat, but lifting your right toes towards the sky. Big breath in and out. We're returning back up to warrior 2 now. Using your hands or not, open to warrior 2. Make sure you adjust that back foot so the back foot points sideways. The front toes point forward. Reverse warrior 2, back hand to your hip, right hand goes up and over. It's a side bend as the back knee bend, or the front knee bends deeply. Return to warrior 2. Left hand to left hip, right hand to the floor in front of your right toes. We're preparing for half moon. Let's do this slow. First, step your left foot closer to you. Come onto your back left toes. Walk your right hand a bit further away from you. And then look down, bend your right knee deeply, and lift your left leg. Flex your left foot. This is a great place to stay. If you want to add on, you'll start to straighten your right leg, and you'll start to twist your torso towards the left. You can stay looking down. I encourage for your neck to look in the direction that your chest is facing. But if that throws your balance off, by all means, look down. Back leg presses straight and strong. That is like your motor. That's your engine. You're firing up that back leg. And the left hand might reach up towards the sky as well. All right, we're going to reverse back to warrior 2. So bend into the right knee. Controlled, graceful, maybe not. We're working on it. We're going to get back to warrior 2. Good. Inhale, straighten your front leg. Grab your hips. Now adjust your feet. You're going to prepare for pyramid. Step your left foot closer and face the front. Both feet flat on the ground. Check that your back toes are turned out slightly. You've got your right foot to the right, your left foot to the left. Hands can be at hips. Interlace at your lower back, or maybe you bring your palms together between your shoulder blades. Inhale to lift your heart. Exhale to fold forward over your front leg. It is okay for that front leg to bend. You're working it towards straight. So even if it's bent, activate the leg as if you're pushing it towards straight. Especially the front of the leg, like the front of the thigh. Squeeze that. Feel your kneecap lift towards your pelvis. Reach your heart towards your toes. Can you let your head hang heavy? Good. Look forward. Lift the chest. Flat back to rise all the way up to standing. Release your hands back to your hips. Bend your front knee and step forward. Mountain pose. Palms open by your sides. Inhale. And out. Arms go high to the sky. Big breath in. Exhale, flat back to fold over. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, bend knees, bent palms, step or hop, low push-up. You choose Cobra or up dog, lengthening your spine. Exhale to down dog. Step your feet closer together. Press strong through palms. Lift your left leg up high to the sky. Flex through your foot. Really kick your heel away. Toes and knee point down. And then that heel that you're standing on, try to reach it closer to the floor. Push more with your palms, chest staying open. Look forward, step left foot between thumbs. Back knee up, back heel up. High lunge, lift your torso. Take the time to adjust your feet, really pushing through that back big toe. Start with your hands on your hips and see if you can find level hips. So sometimes we like to drop the right hip down and really stick the left hip out. See if you can tuck that left hip under you. Bend deep into the front knee. And then do the opposite of a twerk. We're looking for neutral here. So the pubic bone and the hip points are in one flat plane. As the front knee bends, the back leg kicks back, especially through that inner thigh and that inner ankle. Good. Hands can reach up as the shoulders melt down. And you're welcome to stay just like this, or bend your left elbow, bringing the left palm to your shoulders. Bring the right hand to the left elbow, pulling the ribs in. Stay or interlace the hands at your upper back. Lengthening your spine, strengthening your legs, softening your face. Good. Release your arms out to the sides, and we'll spin the back heel down, coming into warrior two. Back foot flat. Confident gaze forward, bend into the front knee. So it'll feel like your front knee is reaching forward and the inner thigh on your back leg is stretching back. So there's this opposition in two different directions. No rush here. Having just as much of a mindset for this as a physical practice. Go ahead and straighten the front leg. We're going to turn your back toes outward so they point away from you. You're going to bend the back knee so it points right over middle toes. That's a great place to stay. If you want to add on, you'll bend deeper, lifting the left leg up, coming into a side squat. Really lengthen through that left leg. Lift the chest as you drop your shoulders. Soften your forehead. Coming back up into warrior two, use your hands as much as you need to windmill up and open. Make sure to adjust that back foot back in. Back hand comes to back hip, reverse warrior two, reach up and over. Return to center, warrior two. Nice. Straighten your front leg, grab your hips, and we'll adjust for pyramid pose. So step the back foot in and turn it forward. Left foot to the left, right foot to the right. Right toes turn out slightly. Now choose where you want your arms, maybe the same place as before, maybe somewhere different. On an inhale, you'll lift the chest. On an exhale, you'll fold over. Really draw the left hip back and think of externally rotating that back leg. Inhale, look forward, lift your heart, rise back up. Hands release to hips, bend the front knee. Gently step forward. Mountain pose. Take a breath in and out. Center the weight onto your left foot. Grab your left hip with your left hand. Bring your right arm forward like a goalpost. Like you're holding a serving platter. Totally different. And then swing your right arm out to the side, and you're going to reach back and catch the inner arch or the big toe side of your back foot. If that's uncomfortable for your hand, you could definitely hold the pinky toe side. Holding the big toe side is going to help open your shoulder more. So I encourage that if it's accessible to you. Now notice if the pubic bone and the hip points are in a vertical plane. If not, make that adjustment. So you've got a flat, neutral pelvis, and your inner thighs are squeezing together. The right knee is pointing straight down. Now, this could be a stretch just standing here. It's good balance support. You might grab onto a wall as needed. If you want to add on, now you'll start to hinge right kind of below the belly button. That's where you're going to feel like this bend starts. You're going to start to kick back as you lift your left hand high to the sky. Keep the right hip low so it's the same height as your left. Try not to twist open. I don't care how deep of a back bend this is. I want you to get as long as you can. Your heart reaching forward and your knee reaching back. Good. Really push your chest to face front. One more breath. And release back to mountain pose. Switching sides now. Bring the weight onto your right foot. Right hand to right hip. Left hand like a serving platter. Swing it around. Grab that big toe side of your foot. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Nice, and take a look down. Notice if you're doing a little twerk, you'll tell because you won't be able to see your pubic bone. So make an adjustment as needed to get those triangle points vertical and in a line. Then hug your left knee by your right knee. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Without going anywhere yet, try to stand as tall as you can, like you're lifting your ribs up and away from your pelvis. Nice. And then option to stay, or that spot just below the belly button starts this beautiful bend. Maybe it's a very windy bend that likes to fall down. It's all right. No self-judgments. Drop the left hip low, reach the left shoulder forward, and then long. Back bending really should be called back lengthening. Breathe into it. And return back to center. Mountain pose, stand strong, stand steady. Inhale, the arms go up, big breath in. Exhale, flat back to fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chest up. We're coming to our bellies. Get there how you'd like. Maybe a step hop, maybe through a child's pose. Lying down. Stretch your legs back. Rise up onto your forearms. Elbows underneath shoulders, palms facing the floor. Awesome. So this is Sphinx pose. Feel free to stay right here. Or if you'd like, you can bend both knees, inner thighs together. Reach back to grab your feet. And inhale to lift up, bow pose. Making sure the pubic bone and hip points stay down. Lift your knees with the strength of your legs. Think of lifting your chest even higher. And release down. Press back to child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead to the ground. Soften back into that melting bar of chocolate. And slowly sit up on your shins. We'll move the legs out of the way and swing the legs in front of us. Roll your inner thighs in, your outer thighs out, so you can really feel your sits bones on the ground. Bend your knees, flex your feet so the heels will kick away from you. Bend forward so your ribs touch the fronts of your thighs. Heart will reach past the toes and the head can bow. Now you're welcome to keep the knees bent, or you're welcome to press the legs towards straight. Whatever feels better for your body. Whatever part of your body touches the mat, push it into the mat. Almost as if you're trying to push yourself away from the floor. And inhale, look forward, slowly rise up with your torso. Scoot your hips forward. Make sure you've got space behind you. And we'll slowly roll down to our backs. We're going to go super slow, trying to really round the back, stretch the legs out away from us, open the chest. Once you arrive onto your back, find happy baby. Knees come into your chest. You can give them a little hug, rock side to side first. Before opening up, grabbing ankles or outer edges of feet. The arms will reach through your legs, in between your legs, to reach up and grab ankles or feet. Bottoms of the feet point straight up, heels kick towards the sky, toes draw down towards your knees. Maybe rock side to side. Maybe press one or both legs towards straight. If there are any other last postures you need to feel complete today, this is your time to take them. And that could be anything. Maybe it is a yoga pose. Maybe it's something totally different. Maybe it's a spinal twist. Maybe it's an inversion or another back bend. Or maybe you want a long shavasana. Just take what you need at this point, and I'll do the same. And I will let us know when it is time to move into shavasana. Take a couple more breaths in whatever you're in. And eventually spread out into Shavasana. Take up some space. Soften your face. If you need to shade your eyes, definitely do so. And take a giant breath in and out. And then let your breath go. Let go of breath control. Forget about it for a little while. And for the next few moments, find stillness. Feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as benefits you. I'm going to close our practice. If you're deciding to close your Shavasana now with me, then take the next 5 to 7 breaths or so to find your way to seated. When you arrive in seated, feel free to have your hands fall in your lap or join them together at your heart. A gesture that represents gratitude, respect for others, and also for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me in your yoga practice today. If you took this class, leave a comment. Let me know how your body feels, what you liked, what you didn't. and what you'd like to see more of in the next classes. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Yoga time.